If you've been told you need surgery for an inguinal hernia, I was told the same thing, but I didn't do it. And now I'm completely asymptomatic. So the question is, do you actually need surgery, or is there another way to deal with this? When I first got mine, it was the size of 2 golf balls, and it would pop out as soon as I got out of bed in the morning. No pain, just this constant reminder that something just wasn't right. And everywhere I looked, it was the same answer. Surgery is the only fix. And to be clear, surgery is the only way to physically repair the congenital defect that's present when most inguinal hernias form. I'm not here to argue that. But what I started to question was, is that the only way to actually live without symptoms? Because I kept thinking, why did this happen in the first place? And if I don't address that, then what's stopping it from happening again? Or one showing up on the other side? So instead of doing nothing and just watchful waiting, I took what I'd call a proactive approach. I started looking at the underlying factors that could have contributed to the hernia in the first place. Not to heal the hole, but to remove the conditions that were causing it to push out in the first place. And what I found after going pretty deep down the rabbit hole is that most people with hernias tend to have a similar set of issues going on. Things like weakness in the deeper core muscles, poor pelvic posture, tight hips and hamstrings, digestive issues causing internal pressure, and even chronic tension in the body. Once I started addressing those, things began to change. Over time, the bulge stopped coming out, the awareness of it faded, and now I live like I don't even have a hernia. I surf, ride, work out, all of it, like it was never even there. One of the biggest turning points for me was using a hernia belt early on. Not as a fix, but as a way to take the pressure off and stop thinking about it 24/7. That gave me the space to actually focus on fixing what was going on underneath. So no, I'm not saying that every hernia will just magically go away. And I'm definitely not telling anyone to avoid surgery if they need it. I'm just sharing what worked for me and what I've seen work for a lot of other people too. If you're dealing with a hernia and you just want to get through your day without constantly thinking about it, I put together a free guide that shows exactly what I did to stay active and manage it without making it worse. I'll link it below. At the end of the day, you don't always have to choose between doing nothing and jumping straight into surgery. There's a middle ground, and for me, that's what made all the difference. If this made you think a little differently about your hernia, the next thing you need to do is understand what actually caused it in the first place. I made a video breaking down the 5 root causes and how I started addressing them. That's the next step. Just click the video that's on your screen right now.